What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over how to use a smoke in CS2, and I'm going to be starting a new series on this channel where I basically go through every piece of utility and I show you why you use them, how you use them, and what you can do in your games to get more wins and support your teammates a little bit better. The map that I'm using for this video is provided to me by Refrag.gg. I'll go ahead and leave 10 free trial codes down below, and if you use my code, you get 15% off your first subscription. I also want to say that I do offer coaching. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below to my Metafy if you guys want to go ahead and book a session. But with that all being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. So at its base level, basically what you're going to be using a smoke for is you're going to use it to deny information from the other team. That's why you'll see pro teams, they'll start smoking bottom ramp, or they'll smoke bottom yellow, and this goes across all maps. They'll use their smokes to kind of set up the early round, deny some basic rushes from the T's, and stop them from taking control so that they can set up the rest of their round. How T's will usually use smokes is they'll throw a smoke to also deny information, and this is what is called a default. They will do basic smokes, very normal smokes that they do almost every single round to deny the same amount of information every single round from the CTs. So basically the early round of every single game is an information game, and both teams are kind of just trying to hide what they're doing, and how they'll do that is they'll mask it by using smokes. Now, building on this, if smokes are used to deny information, let's say the T's want to go ahead and execute a site on Vertigo, for example, right? They're going to go ahead and throw this left smoke where they go into this corner and jump throw, and they're going to throw a right smoke where they come over here and smoke right side of site. This will now deny any information from the CTs so that the T's can come up and plant bomb. It will also give them cover to run into site so the CTs can't see them. Obviously, this is the base level of a smoke. I'll elaborate on different ways that you can use smokes, but this is mainly what smokes are used for, and this is mainly what you'll see in pro play. Now, this is kind of a higher level concept, but smokes can also be used to deny or stuff the other team from going into a bomb site. So let's think of it like this from the CT's perspective. Let's say my B player has pushed through B, and he's calling, yo, the T's are 100% going A, and the CTs on A are playing on site. This B player should be calling play to stuff or play to block A. And basically what this will do is this will prompt the CTs to go ahead and let's stuff side hall, right? So they'll go ahead and throw a side hall smoke because they know that the T's are going to be coming A. They have a guy on flank, so they don't want the T's to execute right away. They want to let that flank take as much time as he needs to be able to get a proper flank off, get more information, potentially get more kills, and they don't want the T's coming towards them when they have a guy who can shoot them in the back. All you have to do is delay the T's. This is the block or deny concept, and you'll see this a lot at higher levels. When pro teams know the T's aren't going to this side of the map, this means that they're on the other side of the map, so you want to block them as long as you can and use that clock to its full effectiveness. Now, the second major use of a smoke is to create situations the other team isn't familiar with. So let's say the T's do this execute and I'm a CT. The T's do the execute where they smoke left and they smoke right side on A. Exactly what I was talking about before. As a CT, if I have a smoke, yes, I could save it for the bomb and post plant. Yes, I could use it to maybe smoke side hall when my team retakes, but what I could also do is if my team wants to fight, I can throw a smoke like this. And what this will do is this will create an unfamiliar situation for the T's where they throw the right smokes, but now there's a weird smoke in the middle of sight. They don't really know how to play around this. At higher levels, they will, but for the most part, this creates a generally unfamiliar situation for the other team you're playing, and it leaves a lot of question marks for the other team. Let's say I'm the other team and I'm like, oh yeah, this smoke's here. I'm just going to go up in sight and play like I normally would off of these smokes. Because you've thrown the smoke, you've given yourself a little pocket in sight now where you could potentially peek into side hall. You could potentially kill the planner while he's running to plant. You could also get a flash and maybe even run through the left side and try and pick off any T's in the open. There's a lot of different things you can do off of smokes, and the whole concept here is you're creating a situation that you are making. You are making this situation to play around, to do whatever you want around the smoke. And think of this percentage-wise. From the other team's perspective, this smoke is kind of, you know, a wrench in the works for them. They kind of have to figure out how to play around it. You're the one who threw it. You created the situation. You already know what you are going to do and how you're going to do it when you throw the smoke. This is a great way to enforce by rounds where, let's say you're on a 5.7 or an MP9. You don't really want to take long-range fights against AKs. Think of percentage-wise. You should be losing these fights if you're fighting a long-range pistol or MP9 versus an AK. So by dropping a smoke around this area, you can also give yourself space to where you can get closer and turn those percentages a little bit more in your favor. At higher levels, players will call this kind of ratting around smokes, because essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to cheese a kill in a way that's kind of gimmicky, right? It's not super consistent if every single round when the T's go A, you drop a smoke like this, because all they could do is they could just sit back and hold for you to make your little play. But the reason why this is ratting is because it's not something that's consistent. You're basically trying to do something that's unexpected to catch the other other team off guard. So if they know that it's coming, it's probably something that you shouldn't do. That's why you do it maybe once or twice, try and rat around a smoke, potentially get a kill, yada, yada, yada. Now you can also use this concept when you're on T side and you're playing a post plant. So now that you got bomb down, the CTs essentially have to re-execute the bomb site to be able to defuse the bomb. How we can use this is, let's say instead of smoking right side and leaving left side open, which generally is bad because then the CTs can just run out here, this smoke doesn't really do anything. Yes, it blocks this angle from peeking headshot, but that doesn't really do too much because the CTs are generally going to retake into side hall anyway. So what you can use the smoke for is, let's say you drop it for something like this, you come around here, and now you have kind of a one-way onto site. And again, this isn't a great play. If the CTs know that you're going to be playing in the smoke, they'll just spam it, they'll nade it, they won't peek it. All these things that they'll do to basically not die to you peeking over the smoke. But every now and then, this is a decent way of cheesing a kill, playing around it, potentially getting one, now you run away, and just creating a situation that the CTs are unfamiliar with. Now, I am a full-time college student, so thanks to sponsors like SkinPlace, I can keep pushing out this content. The sponsor for today's video is SkinPlace. You have skins, right? Well, you can safely convert those skins into cash in just seconds on SkinPlace. Just log into Steam, select the skins you want to sell, choose from their wide variety of payment methods like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Tether, and more. And once you put in your wallet address, that's it. It's super easy and only takes a single minute to completely set up your account. I traded 3 skins to SkinPlace, and within just a couple seconds, I saw that money pop up in my crypto wallet. Use the link down below and get to selling. But don't forget to use code POLOCS for a 3% bonus on your first sale. Now let's get back to the video. The third most important use for a smoke is supporting your teammates. And what I mean by this is, let's say you are a mid player and the T's start popping towards B. You have a guy on default, he sees them start coming up the ramp, he drops a smoke to play around, again ratting around a smoke, and you're the mid player. You drop off, and let's say you drop a smoke right here. What this will now do is, yes, it will let the T's cross over here and they can't peek generator, but now what will happen is you could fight the same angles as your teammate. Let's say your teammate dropped a smoke right here, and he's walking around the smoke, and he plays kind of a wider angle like this. You can say, I have first contact, and now you've created a scenario where your teammate is fighting an angle that doesn't really exist. He created it for himself, and you're also fighting an angle that you created for yourself, right? You smoked this, your teammate threw a lurk smoke on default, and now you guys are playing off of each other just because of the smokes that you've thrown. You've created a situation that the T's aren't exactly going to be super familiar with, and because of that, you should have a stronger sight hold here. Let's say I'm a mid player and I'm rotating into A site when the T's start coming towards A. Let's say I have a guy towards default around this area and they start coming up, he's blind. I can come over here and throw a smoke like the one that I was talking about before that creates a very unfamiliar situation for the T's, and now he can play around the smoke. You're supporting your team and giving them more options to hold the site and kind of bailing them out in these scenarios. That's going to be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this gave some insight into the why you use certain smokes. Yes, you can do crazy lineups to throw execute smokes and have this crazy execute, but at a base level, these are the main concepts you kind of want to understand when you're buying a smoke, so that at higher levels, you can hold up against the better competition who knows all these little things that they can do off of smokes, knows all the little ways to squeeze the most potential out of a smoke. And hopefully I helped you understand just a little deeper the scenarios when you should be using a smoke, why you should be using a smoke, and how you should be using a smoke. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.